A pleasure to meet all at last, and here we are with HJN Season 5. So once again, we're on the route to talk about all the kinds of animals that are qualified as pets, whether in the US, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Germany, Portugal, Russia, Japan, China, Thailand, Australia, etc. There's always going to be a person out there that you know of whom has a certain pet. And while some pets might be out of proportion or out of legality even, depending on what this is about, we're going to be talking about something that is a little more on the creepy side, something that has stirred up a lot of fear in people over the years. The tarantula. Well, tarantulas, spiders, arachnids as a whole are eight-legged creatures specifically designed for a number of different possibilities. These are well-known predators. Usually in the wild, they can catch a lot of prey. A lot of prey that usually involves various insects. And even though arachnids have practically been treated like insects or pests over the years, doesn't matter what it might be, but let's be real, there's a difference between the insect and the arachnid. The thing is that the tarantula, which is mostly what we're going to talk about today, or the spider, because they have a lot of similarities with each other, but the main difference is that the tarantula often finds a lot more solace in homes being a pet, much like with fish, mouses, cats, dogs, etc. So for the most part, much like most of the other animals previously discussed, tarantulas do come in a variety of different colors, shapes, sizes, and species. One such well-known case of the tarantula is the Goliath bird eater, also dubbed the largest of all the tarantulas. You can think of it sort of in this sort of size. It's massive. The thorax or abdomen alone is almost as large as an orange, which itself just goes to show that we're probably going to be in one of those worlds in which that spiders will grow giant, and it's not far off considering the fact that Earth, believe it or not, once had ginormous tarantulas and giant insects as a whole. There was the famous Arthroplura, which was discovered all the way back in the 1850s on a set of centipede tracks that were much, much larger than the modern day centipedes, which are about a fraction of the size of the Arthroplura. But still, if Ark Survival Evolved taught me anything, it's that these kind of exotic species of animals sure do have a lot of history behind them. These ancient fossils worth of previously known supersized insects that you could probably only imagine if you were, let's say, shrunken down in a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids film. And it's pretty much inevitable that because Earth once had a huge level of oxygen in the atmosphere, much larger than how it is today. These days, oxygen barely goes above 10%, even though it is necessary for lungs to function and a number of other things to function just as well. Because without it, you can expect a lot of life to diminish over time. But, as we know, there could be a very high likelihood that given the mass oxygen increases that we've been seeing lately, after a lot of environmental impacts have happened in the last 100 years or so, there very much could be a time in which spiders, tarantulas, centipedes, birds, etc., they could grow giant in size and once again conquer Earth with their massive might. Well, we thankfully don't have to worry about that very much for right now. Of course, as you probably already know, I haven't talked about it very much so far, but the tarantula is not only a massive choice in regards to a real-life pet, but it also has seen a lot of popularity in pop culture. Whether it be the tarantula or the spider, they're both arachnids, sharing a lot of similarities with each other. Tarantulas don't really produce webs, though sometimes they can produce silk. And while the silk doesn't exactly become a webbing, much like what a spider can weave over time, the tarantula sometimes can, in fact, emit silk from its thorax. But the real big problem that people would deal with is the fact that tarantulas have huge fangs, much larger than most spiders. And the thing is, they're venomous. That's probably another big issue as to what constitutes the fear in most people based on their arachnophobia. The thing is, there's always a likelihood that they could bite. And when they do, it's going to get nasty. Pretty darn nasty. But you know what? Whether it be arachnophobia, or it be tarantulas, lavalantula, or even, of course, there's Eight-Legged Freaks, which is one of my favorite films of 2002. The spider, tarantula, or whatever you basically want to affiliate it with is still the eight-legged creature that is known for exterminating a lot of pests. I mean, cockroaches, leeches, termites, flies, hornets, a lot of species out there. And if bugs got so big to the point in which that they would eventually start destroying humanity and civilization as we know it, that goes to show oxygen levels might have gotten a little too high. But we can only be hopeful that from here on out, we don't have to worry about such a thing like that ever happening. Any other way you look at it though, tarantulas are a bit more of the obscure variety of pets, mostly because of the arachnophobia that some people might have. Well, in any other case though, this is another piece that I've hereby concluded. So stay tuned for the next piece of I Found It HJN. Yeah, not at all related to I Found It First. But if you want to see more, go down to my channel, then make sure to like, subscribe, comment, follow me wherever you can find me, and stay on the Hollywood side.